Welcome to episode 10 of the reading of Michael McCoy's Garden. Today's entry is dated the 20th of October 1997. I've been devouring photos of Beth Chatto's gravel garden. A friend had taken several rolls of film on her last visit, and I've scanned the photos in minute detail, but we'll look at them several times yet. Certainly it is far and away the most inspirational planting I saw while looking at English gardens in 1994. Many of the plants Beth uses we can't get here, and they therefore become the best plants in my mind, including the super strong shapes of Eramuris, the foxtail lilies, and the toffee apple shaped alliums. We can get some varieties, but not the best of them. Some gravel gardens are apparently made over very poor soil, even pure subsoil, using the gravel as a growing medium. Beth Chatto's gravel garden was made in naturally gravelly soil, enormously improved with organic matter so as to help the plants become established. When I interviewed Beth 6 or so years after the planting of the garden, she assured me that there would not be a trace of that organic matter left. The plants are now going it alone. It's arguable how appropriate a gravel garden is on moisture-retentive soil like mine. I'm certainly not pretending that the plants will be growing in gravel. The gravel will be nothing more than a mulch, but a visually active one, unlike any of the organic mulches that give the appearance of soil. Those who consider that poor gravelly soil is essential to their definition of gravel gardening might argue that I shouldn't even call mine a gravel garden, but to me it is a term of visual description and nothing more, so I'll stick with the name. My interest in such a scheme comes largely from a need to find a planting context for lower and earlier flowering herbaceous perennials. With our long summers, I aim to have an herbaceous border in flower as late as possible so as to minimise the painful dying off period. Consequently, I've virtually banned earlier flowering things that might need to be cut back mid-season. Sure, the best of them reclothe themselves with leaves quite quickly, but I hate to see bare soil, even temporarily, in summer. Still others allow later things to be tucked in around them, but who has the time for that? Gardening with a gravel mulch over both the paths and the garden beds overcomes this difficulty by providing an active background so that low spreading plants that require a cutback mid-season do not reveal bare soil. All that is revealed is the gravel, which then simply appears to be part of the path system. I've also found that I've avoided growing many small herbaceous plants in the past. This has often been due to the fact that many of the plants that make up the late flowering border, cannas, heleniums, monadas, etc., are quite tall. Furthermore, too many short things at the front of a border can mean that any plants that approach human scale are so far away from the viewer that there's no chance of feeling swallowed up in the planting. In many modern gardens where space or depth is limited, I want to get to height very close to the front of a planting, so rarely find much space in a traditional border setting for low-growing perennials. I hope that gravel gardening will solve this problem by providing multiple viewpoints where gravel rivers can run deep into the planting, allowing slow gradations of height at some points, then dramatic engulfment at others. I loved Beth Chatto's gravel garden when I first saw it in 1994. I was blown away by it. And I think what I loved more than anything else was the fact that plants could tease forward with no distinct definition between the path and the garden bed. The plants could spill forward and right into the path system and kind of diffuse, so the garden bed had this really soft edge to it. And so I wanted to replicate that with plants that were appropriate here. Anyway, tomorrow's episode is about the very first plantings. So join me for episode 11. Bye.